What if I told you that a single thought, born during a quiet Sunday walk, could unleash a power so immense it would redefine human civilization forever? In an age of water wheels and horse-drawn carts, one Scottish inventor looked at a clunky, inefficient machine and saw the future. This is the story of James Watt, the man who didn't just improve an engine, he supercharged the Industrial Revolution, creating the very world we live in today. To unlock more untold stories of the brilliant minds who forged our modern world, don't forget to subscribe to Timelines Unlocked. James Watt was born on January 19, 1736, in the bustling seaport of Greenock, Scotland. He was a sickly child, often confined to his home. But this isolation became his crucible. While other boys played outside, Watt found his world in his father's shipbuilding workshop. Surrounded by tools, compasses, and ship models, he developed a profound mechanical intuition. His mother taught him to read and write, and his father nurtured his curiosity, giving him a set of tools to tinker with. He would spend hours dismantling and reassembling everything he could get his hands on, from his toys to his father's nautical instruments, driven by an innate desire to understand how things worked. At 18, after his mother's death and a downturn in his father's business, Watt knew he had to forge his own path. He traveled to London in 1755 to train as a mathematical instrument maker, a highly skilled trade that required immense precision. In just 1 year, he mastered a craft that typically took 7. Returning to Scotland, he sought to open his own shop in Glasgow, but was blocked by the local trade guilds. However, his talent had been noticed by the professors at the University of Glasgow, who offered him a workshop on their grounds. This was a pivotal moment. Here, Watt was not just a craftsman, but a member of a vibrant intellectual community, befriending influential thinkers like Joseph Black, the chemist who discovered latent heat, and Adam Smith, the father of modern economics. These friendships sharpened his mind, exposing him to the scientific principles that would underpin his greatest work. In 1763, the university presented Watt with a challenge that would alter the course of history. A model of the Newcomen steam engine, used for classroom demonstrations, was broken. The Newcomen engine was the best technology of its day for pumping water out of mines, but it was monstrously inefficient. It worked by injecting steam into a cylinder to push a piston up, then dousing the cylinder with cold water to create a vacuum that pulled the piston down. This constant cycle of heating and cooling the same massive cylinder wasted nearly 3/4 of the steam's energy. As Watt meticulously repaired and studied the model, he was appalled by its inefficiency. He realized that the fundamental flaw was the immense energy loss in the cylinder itself. For 2 years, the problem consumed him. Then, in 1765, while on a walk across Glasgow Green, the solution struck him in a flash of genius that would become legendary. The steam, he realized, should be condensed not inside the main cylinder, but in a separate, connected chamber. This separate condenser would allow the cylinder to remain permanently hot, while the condenser remained cool. No more wasted energy reheating the cylinder for every single stroke. It was a deceptively simple idea, but it was the key that would unlock the true power of steam. Having the idea was one thing, building it was another. Watt lacked the capital and the advanced tools needed to construct a full-scale engine with the necessary precision. He entered a partnership with inventor John Roebuck, but the project faltered, driving Roebuck into bankruptcy. Just as his dream seemed to be collapsing, Watt was introduced to Matthew Boulton in 1775. Boulton was a visionary industrialist from Birmingham, a charismatic businessman with a world-class factory and the financial resources Watt desperately needed. Their partnership was a perfect fusion of genius and enterprise. While Boulton famously told Watt, "I sell here, sir, what all the world desires to have, power." Together, they formed Boulton and Watt, the company that would put the Industrial Revolution into high gear. Thanks with Boulton's backing, Watt's designs were finally brought to life. Their first engines were an immediate success, but Watt was just getting started. He went on to invent the double-acting engine, where steam pushed the piston on both the up and downstrokes, effectively doubling its power. Then, he created the sun and planet gear system, which converted the engine's linear motion into rotary motion, allowing it to turn wheels and power machinery of all kinds. This was the breakthrough that freed factories from their dependence on rivers for power. Now, textile mills, iron foundries, and breweries could be built anywhere. To market his engines, Watt even developed a new unit of measurement to explain their capability to skeptical clients: horsepower. His engines became the tireless, beating heart of a new industrial age. As his fame and fortune grew, Watt continued to innovate. He invented a governor to automatically regulate the engine's speed, a pressure gauge to improve safety, and even the world's first practical office copier. He became a central figure of the Lunar Society of Birmingham, a group of leading industrialists, scientists, and thinkers who met to discuss new ideas. Yet, for all his success, he remained a humble and often anxious man, constantly plagued by self-doubt despite his monumental achievements. He fought fiercely in court to protect his patents, recognizing that intellectual property was as crucial to his business as iron and steam. In his personal life, Watt endured both tragedy and happiness. His first wife, Margaret, died in childbirth, leaving him devastated. He later found a lifelong partner in his second wife, Anne McGregor, who supported him through the most intense and productive years of his career. He retired a wealthy and widely respected man in 1800, passing the business to his sons. He spent his final years in his workshop, still tinkering, still inventing, driven by the same boundless curiosity that had defined his life. James Watt died on August 25, 1819, at the age of 83, having lived to see his engines completely reshape the fabric of society. James Watt's legacy is not just in the machines he built, but in the world those machines created. His innovations didn't just pump water or power looms. They powered an era of unprecedented progress, shrinking the globe with railways and steamships, building cities, and creating the foundation of our modern, interconnected world. The very unit of power, the watt, is named in his honor, a permanent tribute to the man who truly turned on the lights of the modern age. So, was James Watt the single most important inventor of the Industrial Revolution, or was he one brilliant mind among many? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the life of a world changer, please give this video a like and subscribe to Timelines Unlocked for more stories of the people who defined our past and built our future.